Jazzcast Pros.
If you were with me last week, you know that good sleep isn't just about deep sleep, that all the stages matter. But deep sleep is where your body gets to work, repairing muscles, boosting your immunity, and even balancing your hormones tied to hunger, mood, and metabolism. In this week's episode of the Doze Podcast, I'm sharing the ultimate guide to deep sleep, what it is, what might be stealing it from you, and the exact steps you can take tonight to unlock your most restorative rest. Welcome to the Doze Podcast, where we cut through the noise and uncover what really matters when it comes to your sleep. I'm Soda Kuczkowski, a certified sleep coach, sleep health educator, and founder of the Doze and Start With Sleep. With over 2 decades of experience helping people transform their sleep, I've seen it all, the myths, the struggles, and the breakthroughs. And if there's one truth I come back to again and again, it's this: that sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer. It impacts every part of how you function and how you show up in the world. And deep sleep is one of the most essential and often misunderstood pieces of the puzzle. And if you're not getting enough deep sleep, you might feel groggy when you wake up, struggle to concentrate, feel irritable, or even see dips in your immune health, mood, and metabolism. So how do you get more of it? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. From understanding your sleep cycles and identifying what's stealing your deep sleep, to building a routine that truly supports restoration, this is your complete guide to unlocking the deepest, most healing rest your body craves. So let's start at the root. What exactly is deep sleep, and why does it matter so much? Well, deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep, is stage 3 of non-REM sleep. And it's when your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your breathing drop to their lowest levels. Your muscles fully relax, and your brain emits slow delta waves, the deepest brainwave state. It's during this stage that your body does most of its healing and repair work, with tissue regeneration, memory consolidation, hormone balancing, and immune strengthening. This is your body's recovery zone, and without it, you're running on empty even if you feel that you've been getting enough sleep. And as adults, we typically spend about 10 to 25% of the night in deep sleep, and it occurs in the first half of the night. But as we age, the amount of deep sleep that we actually get naturally declines. And if you're missing deep sleep, your body will let you know, and there's some red flags to look out for. If you wake up feeling tired or groggy, even, like I mentioned, getting enough sleep. If you feel foggy or forgetful, in that state of sleep inertia, we all experience this, but if it's something that's ongoing and disruptive to your day, right, it's something that we want to take a look at. If you're easily stressed or emotionally reactive. If you often get sick or you tend to recover slowly. If you crave sugar or you often feel burnt out, or if your reaction times feel slower. And for those of you saying, but I'm in bed for 8 hours, remember, it's not just about how long you sleep. It's really about how restorative that sleep is, the quality of the sleep you're getting. So what exactly could be getting in the way? Well, there's some common deep sleep disruptors, which include things like inconsistent bed and wake times, too much screen time before bed, late night caffeine, alcohol, or heavy meals, stress and overactive minds, or light and noise in your sleep space. Take a moment to reflect which of these are sneaking into your routine. Even for me, someone who lives and breathes sleep, it's the habits I build that make the biggest difference. You know, if I eat too late or if I go to bed hungry, it throws things off. And if I'm on my screen after 8 p.m. without my blue blocker glasses, I definitely feel it the next day. You know, running 2 businesses, hosting a podcast, raising a 10-year-old with a schedule of her own, I still find myself off track sometimes, and that's okay. The key is having a plan to reset. And these are the times a supplement can be helpful, or a breathing practice, or just getting back to the basics the next night. So the magic question is, how do you get more deep sleep starting tonight? I want to start with one of the big ones, caffeine. When we have caffeine in our system, it can actually reduce deep sleep by up to 20%. And some of us are actually naturally slower at clearing it from our system. And I want to mention that I do have a full episode on caffeine and sleep, but just a quick kind of note on what I mentioned in that episode is something about broccoli extract. Because broccoli, especially in supplement form, helps your body to process and clear out toxins, including caffeine. And if you accidentally drink coffee too late in the day or you're someone who's more sensitive to caffeine, this can be a really helpful tool. It works by supporting your liver, which is in charge of breaking caffeine down so it doesn't stay in your system too long or mess with your sleep. And the best way to use it is to take it in the afternoon, but not too close to bedtime. You want to look for a broccoli extract supplement, not just a side of broccoli with dinner. And just as a side note, this is not a license to drink coffee after 6 p.m. and expect broccoli to fix it. It's meant to be supportive, not a magic pill, and I just want to emphasize that you should always check with your healthcare provider if you're on any other medications, as it can also affect other detox pathways. Deep sleep is also about what you eat. Food matters. Some foods help you sleep deeper, while others can keep you up at night. And some of the things you want to avoid are, first, the caffeine that I had mentioned. After 4 p.m., we want to make sure that we're definitely avoiding it. It's a stimulant that can keep your brain too alert, even if you don't feel it, because it blocks the chemical that helps you feel sleepy, which can delay or reduce deep sleep. Sugary snacks. Sugar can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes that may wake you up during the night or prevent your body from fully settling into those deeper stages of sleep. And alcohol, especially late at night. Even though it can make you feel drowsy, as a lot of people use it as a sedative, alcohol actually disrupts your sleep cycle and causes you to wake up more often, especially in the second half of the night. So it cuts into deep sleep and REM sleep. And last, spicy foods. Spicy foods can trigger acid reflux or indigestion, which can make it harder for your body to relax and stay asleep, especially if you eat it too close to bedtime. These foods don't just affect how fast you fall asleep. They mess with how deeply you sleep once you're there. So you want to swap them out for some sleep supportive options instead. And some things include things like magnesium-rich foods. For example, almonds or spinach or pumpkin seeds. Tryptophan-rich foods like turkey or oats or dairy. And calming herbs like chamomile, lemon balm, or valerian root, which you might find in like an herbal tea. A light snack before bed could look something like a banana with almond butter or a small bowl of oatmeal, which can actually support sleep onset and enhance your deep sleep. Tapping into yet another is understanding that sleep isn't just mental, it's sensory. And there are some things that you can do to induce deeper sleep, including the use of sound. You might have heard of white noise, but really brown or pink noise or nature sounds or binaural beats help slow brain waves and deepen sleep. And I'm so excited to share that Dr. Daniel Gartenberg is actually going to be back on the podcast with me in a couple of weeks, and we're going to actually be doing a series on how to use sound for your deepest sleep. Another is your sense of smell, as certain essential oils can even trigger your brain's relaxation response just through scent. Some to use would include things like lavender or cedarwood or sandalwood or ylang-ylang, which can help calm the nervous system and lower your heart rate, making it easier to enter and to stay into deep sleep. And these just aren't relaxing scents. They're signals to your brain that it's safe to go into full rest and repair mode. One of my personal favorites for calming a racing mind, for when your head hits the pillow but your brain just won't shut off, is bergamot. It's a citrus oil, but unlike other energizing citrus scents like lemon or sweet orange, bergamot has a calming, balancing effect on your nervous system. And it's often used to ease those racing thoughts, to reduce feelings of stress or overwhelm, and to promote a sense of emotional release, which is perfect for people who often feel tired but wired. So if you're struggling to quiet your thoughts before bed, bergamot in its pure natural form can be a beautiful ally in your deep sleep toolkit. Which leads me to an important note that I want to make sure that you're aware of. You want to make sure that you're using 100% pure essential oils, not synthetic fragrances. Fragrance oils may smell similar, but they're often made with chemicals and fillers that can irritate your airways, disrupt your hormones, or even do more harm than good when they're inhaled. So you want to look for oils that are labeled with therapeutic grade or 100% pure essential oil. You want it to be free of parabens or fragrance. You want to make sure that from trusted sources that use steam distillation or cold-pressed extraction. Remember, the goal is to calm your body, not overload it with chemicals. Another powerful tool for deep sleep is touch, because touch isn't just physical. It's emotional and neurological. What you feel against your skin can directly affect your nervous system, your stress levels, and how deeply you sleep. Some things to consider using are things like weighted blankets. These are one of the most talked about tools, and for a good reason. The gentle pressure from a weighted blanket mimics a sensation called deep pressure stimulation, which has been shown to reduce cortisol, your stress hormone, increase serotonin, your feel-good hormone, and support melatonin production, your sleep hormone. It helps you feel grounded, safe, and soothed, all of which can lead to longer and deeper stages of sleep. A second for touch is being aware of temperature regulation. So yes, I'm saying that your sheets and your pajamas matter. Your core body temperature naturally drops as you fall asleep, and staying too warm can block your body's ability to enter and maintain deep sleep. That means your sheets and pajamas aren't just comfort items. They're key players in your sleep quality. You want to choose from breathable fabrics like cotton or bamboo, moisture-wick-wearing pajamas if you're prone to night sweats or hot flashes. And I'll drop the link for the deep sleepwear line below. I like to wear mine when I travel, but if you're someone who has had a hard time regulating your body temperature, you definitely want to check it out. And last, cooling mattresses or temperature-regulating blankets if you tend to sleep hot. And ladies, if you're feeling those hot flashes or if you're having a hard time regulating your sleep at night, I have a great bonus tool for you to try called the Ember. The Ember Wave is a wearable that sits on the inside of your wrist and uses gentle warming or cooling sensations to help your body feel more comfortable and calm. So whether you're running hot at night or dealing with cold extremities, it gives your brains the signals, the time to relax, regulate, and rest. And it's especially helpful for those who are temperature sensitive or navigating hormonal changes that disrupt sleep. So when it comes to temperature regulation, what you want to avoid is those heavy synthetic fabrics that can trap heat and moisture, or overly warm layers or duvets unless your room is extremely cold. And a pro sleep tip is to make sure that you're keeping your ideal bedroom temperature for deep sleep around 60 to 67 degrees. If you're too hot, your body struggles to cool down and you may wake up during your deep sleep cycles without even realizing it. And if you're too cold, you'll wake up frequently or struggle to fall asleep in the first place. When your sleep environment feels physically safe, soothing, and temperature balanced, your brain is more willing to let go and your body can slip more easily into that deep, uninterrupted sleep. So touch is one of those overlooked senses when it comes to sleep, but when done right, it can be one of your most powerful allies. And my final deep sleep tip is movement. Exercise can increase your time in deep sleep. Regular physical activity, especially moderate intensity exercise, has been shown to increase the amount of deep sleep you get, particularly in the first half of the night when your body is primed for it. Deep sleep is when your body does the most physical repair work, so it makes sense that when you move more, your body prioritizes recovery. It also helps you fall asleep faster. Exercise builds up sleep pressure, so basically your body's natural drive to sleep. And the more active you are during the day, the more your body craves rest at night. It also helps to balance your stress hormones. Movement helps to reduce cortisol, that hormone that keeps you alert and wired. So when cortisol is high at night, it blocks melatonin, your sleep hormone. So exercise, especially earlier in the day, helps regulate this rhythm so you can unwind more easily at night. But the timing of your exercise does matter. The best time for deep sleep benefits are morning or early afternoon because these times help set your circadian rhythm and leave enough space before bed for your body to cool down. But if you're someone who likes evening workouts, that can still help, but you don't want to go too hard, too close to bedtime. The elevated body temperature and adrenaline can actually delay sleep onset and reduce deep sleep. The bottom line is that exercise is one of the best natural ways to boost deep sleep. You just want to be mindful of timing and intensity to make sure your body has time to shift into recovery mode. So, before we wrap up, I do want to take some time to clear the air on one last thing, and that's some common sleep beliefs that often sound helpful, but they actually can hurt your ability to get that deep restorative rest that you're looking for. And the first one is that you can catch up on sleep over the weekend. The reality is you can't bank deep sleep. You can offset sleep debt to some degree, but you can't truly fully make up for lost deep sleep. Deep sleep happens most in the first half of the night, and your body needs it every single night for repair, memory, immune health, and mood regulation. The truth is, your body prioritizes deep sleep when you're sleep deprived, especially during the first night of recovery. But that doesn't mean that you can undo the effects of multiple late nights or all-nighters. Some of the damage still lingers, like impaired memory, a weakened immunity, mood swings, or poor blood sugar regulation. And sleeping in on weekends might help you feel a little bit better short term, but it can also throw off your circadian rhythm, making it harder to fall asleep and wake up on a schedule the following week. The next is that alcohol helps you sleep. The reality is, yes, it can knock you out, but it doesn't let you go deep. Alcohol fragments your sleep, especially in the second half of the night, and reduces the amount of deep and REM sleep your body can enter. You might fall asleep faster, but you'll wake up more often and feel less rested. And when you have alcohol in your system, it can also relax the muscles in the back of the throat, leading to snoring, so it can also disrupt your partner. The more hours I sleep, the better I feel. And the reality is, it's not just about time, it's about the quality. You could sleep 9 hours and still feel exhausted, even if you're spending enough time in deep sleep. Good sleep is about getting the right stages and the right balance, not just logging hours. I can personally attest to the fact that if I sleep over 8 hours, I actually feel much worse. The takeaway is that deep sleep is fragile, valuable, and non-negotiable. It's not something that you can postpone, that you can hack with wine, or replace with extra time in bed. Consistency, routine, and the right environment are your keys to unlocking it night after night. So this is what I pose to you. Let's stop talking about deep sleep and let's start creating it. I want to challenge you for the next 7 nights to try this updated sleep reset, built from tools we talked about in this episode. These aren't your average tips. These are deep, sleep-focused strategies designed to help your brain and body shift into true rest and repair mode. The first thing is I want you to protect your magic hours. I want you to try to get in bed by 10 or 11 o'clock at least 3 nights this week, because your deepest sleep happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., so missing that window means missing the most restorative part of the night. Second, I want you to replace scrolling with sound. For 1 hour before bed, no screens, but add sound. Try pink or brown noise. And as a bonus, make sure to subscribe so you can join me when I interview Dr. Daniel Gartenberg on how to use sleep to achieve your deepest sleep. Next is to use one sensory sleep tool each night, and I want you to pick from the list that I had mentioned. A weighted blanket to calm your body, perhaps a lavender or bergamot essential oil to quiet a racing mind, or cooling sheets or breathable pajamas to help regulate your body temperature. Or simply pay attention to the thermostat in your home and turn it down before you go to bed. I want you to create a ritual your body can recognize and respond to. And last, support your sleep with food. If you must snack, eat a sleep-supportive snack before bed, like the banana with almond butter, or try the banana tea, which is rich in magnesium and potassium, and I'll make sure to drop that link below. And of course, you want to avoid things like sugar, alcohol, and caffeine, even chocolate late into the evening. And to keep you accountable, I want you to track your progress. Each morning, I want you to take just 60 seconds and ask yourself, did I wake up during the night? How refreshed do I feel? And what tool do I feel helped me sleep deeper? The thing is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. The point is to notice what helps your body drop deeper and start building a rhythm around it. And if you'd be so kind as to tag me at thedoze.co or Start With Sleep and share what's working for you or what surprised you. Let's sleep better together. Thanks for joining me today on the Doze Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone you care about, leave a review, and make sure to subscribe for more episodes. Our mission is to help the world sleep better, one night at a time. Sleep well.